relation to ancient Mesoamerican connections with India, Hunbat's Men, a Mayan elder and founder of the Mayan indigenous community, reveals occult spiritual wisdom of the Maya. In his book, Secrets of Mayan Science/Religion, he illuminates these sacred teachings. From the metaphysics of the hieroglyphic writings to the vibratory interconnection of sacred spaces across the globe, Men introduces linguistic and spiritualistic connections between the Maya and India. Amongst these connections, Men brings to light correspondences between specific words and concepts, such as the Indian chakras, opposed to Mayan chaklas, and the Indian kundalini, compared to the Mayan kulthalnilni. Allegedly, certain ruin sites were created to awaken their respective chakra or chakla points, serving to activate the mind, body, and soul, and the rising of the kundalini or kulthalnilni.
In relation to the Mayan myth, we came across a most peculiar story expressed on stela at the site known as Coba, in the Mexican Yucatan Peninsula. Here is a legend that is played out across the nations of the ancient, and the brunt topic of Joseph P. Farrell's book, Genes, Giants, Monsters, and Men. The story goes that giants descended from the heavens or skies, a technologically advanced race of hominoids that genetically created humanity as we know it, and proceeded to enslave this humanity to do their various biddings, from gold mining to sexual, only to abruptly leave at some prehistoric point, vowing to return at a specified date, which in most cases correlates to the 2012 date, oddly enough. In Sumeria, these giants were known as the Anunnaki, and the Old Testament, the Nephilim. In Greece, they were called the Titans. In the Vedas, the Nagas. Almost every stela that we encountered at Coba depicted a giant standing on two slave-type humans, one under each foot, and being worshipped by a royalty figure on one side and a shaman figure on the other. Also, these giants held what could easily be construed as devices or certainly instruments of some sort, with no apparent or obvious function of the instrument other than it resembling a kind of large scepter. Oxford graduate Dr. Farrell unites the disparate threads of worldwide mythos into one coherent tapestry, clearly showing an image of a history accounting a sentient race of peoples that created humanity, from the genetic level to the technological advancements most notably manifested in the construction of the ancient sacred sites such as Tikal and the modern-day Guatemala.
Not everyone in this fringe line of reasoning the origins of humanity is in agreement with each other. Researcher Jean D. Matlock purports that the ancient Turks, composed of the Sumerians or Akkads and Dravidians, were, in theory, the progenitors of ancient language, culture, and civilization. In an article written by Matlock, he juxtaposes specific words and names of ancient Sumer with the respective words and names used by the Mesoamericans, to great and surprising effect. For brief example, a list of maternal words and names of goddesses and their meaning in Sumeria, followed by the respective list of maternal names and goddesses and their meaning for the Maya. Inan, mother.
Inan, mother.
Malin Ila, flower revered mother.
Malin Ali, flowered revered mother.
Ishtar, moon goddess.
Ishtak, white princess, moon goddess.
Strih Ila, star goddess.
Sitla Li, star goddess.
Also presented by Matlock are the convincing similarities between the stepped Mayan pyramidal erections and the Sumerian ziggurats known as zikari. Further, Matlock proves that the same foods, games, and names of sacred places can all be traced to the Sumerian culture. Such amazing facts as stela portraying elephants found in not India, but Mexico, and detailed maps showing easterly routes across the Pacific Ocean to Central and South America are but some of the fascinating evidences presented by Matlock. Although his theory differs in the originators of civilization, the idea that there existed a global community of seafaring travelers remains the same.
Finally, we have come to an ever-pressing question that has boggled the mind of mankind since time immemorial. Even recently, Kukulkan, aka El Castillo, the pyramid located at Chichen Itza within the Yucatan, was added to the increasing as opposed to decreasing list of the, quote, wonders of the world. How these temples and sacred sites were built has been enshrouded only in blind conjecture and hypothesy, unreproducible on any grand scale. That is, until the entrance of French materials scientist, engineer, and inventor, Dr. Joseph Davidovits, stepped onto the archaeological scene in the 70s, claiming to have solved the age-old enigma. Dr. Davidovits lays proof to his claims by the invention of a new field of science he calls, quote, geopolymer, which entails simple elements and chemicals to create a type of concrete that can be dumped to form, quote, fake limestone blocks. In his book, The Pyramids, An Enigma Solved, co-written with one Margie Morris, Davidovits details a process by which limestone is chipped into flooded quarries, added with salt and a couple of other key chemicals that would commence the gradual hardening of the sand-like material produced from the mixture. The amount of questions and theories this simple rediscovery answers is mind-boggling. Now we may now know how seemingly unmovable blocks of massive limestone compositive slabs may have been fabricated. Although Dr. Davidovits focuses on the pyramids of Giza, his system is as easily applied to the pyramids in Mesoamerica, which were also constructed mostly with limestone. Davidovits' research is thoroughly documented in his website for all to see and scrutinize.
In closing, we have spanned the globe from the Mediterranean to India, to Mesoamerica, back across the Atlantic to Stonehenge, and returning down into Egypt. The journey was fanciful, epic, and absurd, though we indubitably learned firsthand that the truth is most oftentimes more magical and fantastical than any fiction, even science fiction. What modern academia needs is a new and open perspective to these emerging ideas in order to commence with the evolution of human technology. The relationship here is that when we realize that a global community existed in ancient times, for once, a positivity of history repeating itself may manifest in our current era. Until now, the confluence of negativities personified in world war has been the only repetition. This is because the worldview we are fed is one of schisms instead of holistic, divisions instead of exponential multiplication. We preach holonomics, the law governing whole systems, a system all-inclusive of art, architecture, philosophy, science, and religion, from the earth to the galactic center. Hannable humbly leaves you with the Mayan salutation. In Lakesh,
A Lakesh,
Lakesh,
Unabku.
I am another you,
You are another me,
together we make
the galaxy.